This is the Midtown Show, the MC Show for short. What are some things that you need to know before you even think of coming to Germany for studies? What are some things that you need to work on before you even think of coming for bachelor's or master's degree in Germany? With me here to do the discussion are some pretty nice ladies. They will mention their names, but first you begin with your name. We talk, then later she comes in.
Yeah, so I am Linda. I am from Ghana and a master's student here.
All right, so you're on the show today, the MC show, Meet Child's show. So what are some of the things that you think potential students should work on, should know before they even think of coming to Germany?
Yeah, so basically when you want to come to Germany, you should definitely research into the educational system over here because it is a demanding system. The curriculum here is demanding. So basically, you need to work on your public speaking skills because presentations are the norm for every sort of assignments that you have to do.
Yeah.
And even in group presentations, you have to do individual research. So it is very important that you research into the educational curriculum in Germany and you know what it entails and the demanding nature of it. Because basically, even in seminars, which is basically taken over by the students, and the lecturer just, watch the student do their things. Mm-hmm. You are the one that talks and, do all that is required for the seminar.
Really?
So it is very, very important that you research into the educational system in Germany when you have the intention of applying for any school in Germany.
So you have to put in much effort.
A lot of
effort. It's like the students do almost 80% of the entire course.
Exactly.
Yeah, unlike your home country where the professor
just come to lecture.
Yeah.
Just come to lecture, basically.
Yeah. We're going for a break. We'll be right back to continue the discussion.
Because the issue of finance in the long run make a lot of students not be able to complete their studies within the time they plan to.
Okay.
And then they end up spending a lot of years here in Germany because of finance. Because they have to spend so much time working.
Yeah.
They end up not focusing so much on their studies.
Okay.
So once you have that savings, you are safe, you're on the safer side and you can allocate a lot of time into your studies and then be able to complete your master's studies within maybe the 2 years that you plan on coming here to study.
Still on the Meet Child show, the MC show. So one nice lady is here to speak. The audience would like to know you, and you also tell us what I need to know or what I should work on before I even think of going to Germany.
Yeah. So my name is Kesha. I'm from Ghana and I'm a master's student here in Germany. And to add to what my sister just said, I think one of the first things you need to look at even before applying for a school in Germany is to know that here in Germany, whether you're coming from an English-speaking country or a French-speaking country, here in Germany, they speak German. So there is a language barrier. And when I say there is a language barrier, I mean there is a very big language barrier.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So before you even apply to a school here in Germany, you have to learn the language. You have to make sure at least you have up to A1, A2, or even to have a B1 or B2 level in the language is a plus. So it's possible to study the language in your home country. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be here in Germany before you can study the language.
Yeah.
So you can either take the language course in a private institution,
Yeah.
a private language institution in your country,
Yeah.
or you can go to the German institutions.
Goethe Institute.
Yes, exactly, in your home
country.
country and study. And if you cannot afford that, you can also take online YouTube online language classes. There
Maybe
are
on
lots
YouTube.
of there are lots of videos where you can study and maybe attain, I think, the level of A1 or A2, even
It's
just
possible.
on it's possible even just on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, so language is everything in Germany. And there are more places in your home country where you can go and learn the language.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing, so you mean language is everything? And it can even affect your chances of getting a job in Germany.
Exactly. You need the language even to just buy food. You need the language to purchase food or to get groceries from the supermarket or to buy food from the restaurant, or, as you said, to have it to even acquire a job. So you need the language. I cannot emphasize on this enough, because if you do not have the language as a graduate and you come to Germany, it's more like you don't even have a graduate certificate, because it does not count. I mean, the language is the basic for you to attain a job here. So your graduate your degree doesn't count here.
Your bachelor's degree is not so relevant.
Exactly, it's not relevant
to
here.
help you get a job.
Exactly. Once you do
Your
not
ticket
have,
to get a job is the language.
that's the first thing
Okay.
they look at before even assessing your degree.
What about the short-term plan and the long-term plans?
Okay, so it's even for a short-term plan, like even if you are planning not to stay in Germany after your school, you need it even for your 2-year stay here in Germany. I mean, you need that to work, even if you are not planning on working here, and then you have a sponsorship or a scholarship, so you do not need to work whilst you're here.
I get you.
You need the language to move around, to make friends, to integrate into the culture, to understand the German people too. Even as I said, to buy something
from the shop,
you need a language, even for that short term.
Okay.
And then for a long-term plan, if you are thinking of maybe staying here after your school and actually staying here to work, then I would tell you to start working on it right now.
Okay.
Because if after your school, I think you need to have like a B2 certificate before you are able to work with your graduate certificate. Yeah. So if you should start working on it now, by the time you get here and then you're done with your studies here, I'm sure by then you'll be at a C level, which is like a plus for you.
All right.
Yes.
This is the MC show, Meet Child show. We're going for a break. When we come back, Miss Linda tells us more about the things that you need to know, things that you need to work on before you even think of getting to Germany. We'll be right back. We are still on the MC show, Meet Charles show, and the pretty ladies are still here with me. So they've talked about language, they've talked about the educational system. You have to work on this, know this, research on this before you plan coming to Germany. What else can we say? I mean, what are some things that potential students have to know before they even dream of coming to Germany for bachelor's or master's degree?
Yes, so definitely, there is a saying that when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do.
Of course.
So you are coming to Germany, you should know what the culture of the people are.
Know.
So that when you come here, you would not, do something that is not accepted over here. So it's very important that you know what kind of culture you are getting into. Now, for a fact, Germans are direct people. So they are very honest with whatever they do, whatever it is, they say it as it is.
Fairness.
I could give an example of, lecturers who are, Germans, and he will tell you or she will tell you whatever it is, and you might take offense at it, but he's just saying exactly what it is.
So even if it's left with 2 marks for him to pass you, he or she will still fail you because
Exactly.
he needed 2 marks to pass.
Exactly. That is how it is. That is what you have. That is what you got. So they are very, direct in dealing with people. And also, Germans respect the privacy of each other. So Germans are not the kind of people that, for instance, back in Ghana, I could easily walk into my neighbor's house and then ask for, water, food, or anything, and it's not a problem. But
Okay.
it's very difficult here to even know who your neighbor is in Germany. Everybody kind of keeps to themselves. Families are always indoors and all that. So the privacy of Germans are very important to them. And you also need to know, like, when you are coming here, definitely you come to meet, food that is not what you are used to eating
in your home country.
Exactly. So you should know what kind of food you are coming to, coming here to, try and all those things, so that when you come here, you would not have any sort of issues with, the food and all that. So yeah, these are some of the cultural things that you should be aware of. And when you are coming, you should research into these things. Noise making as well, is also an issue. So they do not like it when, you speak too loud.
Play sounds, music like
No,
nobody's business.
No,
You can't
not
just
at
make
all.
any noise in here.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. And very importantly, Germans are respecters of the law. They take the law very seriously. So when you come here, you should know that the law works.
Okay.
And the Germans themselves respect the law. So you should know that it is also expected of you as a foreigner to respect the laws of, the country. And this is very, very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So Germans are independent and reserved and respecters of the law. They don't joke with the laws. But just a question. Germans are reserved and independent, and this is far from they being racist. Have you heard people talking about Germans being racist or whatever? I mean, has it ever occurred to you?
Definitely, you are coming into a country with a different race and a different color.
Okay.
So there are going to be occasions that you would feel being treated a bit differently.
Okay.
Maybe the person might not have the intention of being, making you feel that, he or she is being racist.
Okay.
But just for the fact that you have a different color, you might see that action as, being very negative towards you. But that also doesn't mean that there are no people here that, do not like people of other colors. Yeah. And I think most of my friends would complain about Germans having a certain look that when they look at you in that way, you feel, maybe the person is being racist or not. But I think that Germans are now having the integration of a lot of blacks into their society. Mm-hmm. So they are now getting, to get acquainted to a lot of, people from different cultures and things.
Yeah, so we are all coming from different places, and the race are not the same. Because I've seen Germans themselves raising banners against racism. They are preventing it and stopping it. So we cannot just say they are racist, but hey, you are coming from a different racial background. The race is not the same. Just note that before you come. We're going for a quick break. We'll be right back. When we come, Lady Akosia will tell us more about the things that you need to know or work on before you come. Welcome back to the MC show, Meet Child Show. Lady Akosia, what are some things that potential students have to know before they dream or even think of coming to Germany for bachelor's or master's degree program.
So the next thing I will touch on is the finance part.
Oh.
So before you come here, I would advise that anyone thinking of coming to study here in Germany should have some sort of personal savings.
Yeah.
So there are three forms or three ways in which you can finance your studies
Germany.
here in Germany. We have the formal obligation, the blocked account, and then also the scholarship. And either of these three that you're coming with, I would advise that you still have some sort of personal savings.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you're coming with a blocked account,
Yeah.
I would advise that at least 1/3% of the funds belongs to you.
Oh, okay. So if I should understand what you're saying, even if you have a block account,
Yeah.
if you have formal obligation that allows you to come to Germany without any money, you still have to work on getting some money on your own.
Yes, before you come, because it goes a long way to help you as a student. So if, for instance, as a student, if you should have, let's say, about 2,000 to 3,000 or 4,000 euros as a personal savings before you come here, it will help you and having a lot of time for your studies, and then reducing the number of hours that you even end up working as a student.
I get you.
Because you are not on a very tight savings or a very tight monthly budget.
Yeah.
So once you have that kind of savings set aside for you, you don't need to work longer hours.
Yeah, but let's break the code. I have a block account, or I'm preparing to come to Germany with a block account. The money belongs to me. So when you say I should have savings account, I don't get it. Let's hit the nail right in the head.
Okay.
You mean to tell audience that yes, people do block account. People do come with scholarships or whatever.
Yeah.
If you come with scholarship, you might be on the safer side.
Yeah.
What you may lack is that you have to finish within time and go back.
Exactly.
When you come with formal obligation and block account, especially with the block account,
Yes.
make sure that the money that you kept in that account belongs to you, or 2/3.
Of course. Yeah, exactly.
2/3 of that money is
It's yours.
It's yours. It's your own money.
Savings.
Yeah, we're saying this because many students have come to Germany and gone through some struggle. The money that you are coming or blocking should be your money, or 2/3 of this money should be your own. If not, you find yourself in a very bad position. The experience isn't good. We can't tell you all, but make sure you have the money in your account. What else do you want to add?
Yeah, as I was saying, once you have that sorted, it goes a long way to help you in your studies.
Okay.
Because you don't have to, you have solved the issue of
Financing.
So you have more time to dedicate towards your studies.
Yeah.
Because the issue of finance in the long run make a lot of students not be able to complete their studies within the time they plan to.
Okay.
And then they end up spending a lot of years here in Germany because of finance, because they have to spend so much time working.
Yeah.
They end up not focusing so much on their studies.
Okay.
So once you have that savings, you are safe, you're on the safer side, and you can allocate a lot of time into your studies and then be able to complete your master's studies within maybe the 2 years that you plan on coming here to study.
But I'm still in a fix. I'm coming to Germany. I mean, place of riches and gold. I mean, there are a lot of jobs. You can get more jobs to do. Why should I think of saving money on my own or searching for money or keeping so much money on myself before I come? Because when I come, the jobs are there. Or what is the case? What is the true picture?
I mean, the true picture is you are an international student here. One, you have the problem of a language barrier. Finding a job is not as easy as we think it is back home. It won't be easy. You would take like 3 to 6 months before you actually find a job.
Okay.
Who is willing to take you regardless of your lack of German language skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with all that in mind, that savings will go a long way to help you.
Yeah.
Before you actually start making some money here.
Yeah. So the quote here is that it's not so easy getting the job as
In the first place,
we think.
as we think,
whilst we're in Africa.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're going for a break. We'll be right back. When we come, she continues with things that you have to know before you think of coming to Germany. Welcome back to the MC show, Meet Child show. She's still speaking. You are still on the floor.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that students who are planning to come to Germany should know before they even think of applying for visa or applying for a school in Germany?
So the last thing I would like to touch on is that you have to be on top of your game in regards to technology.
Technology-wise.
Yes. So unlike back home where we don't actually use, I mean, we have them, but we don't use these smart tools on our phones.
Yeah.
These apps like the Google Map,
The Google Maps.
the
Google
Google Translator. We have I mean, we have a whole lot
the
of
GB app.
yeah, a whole lot of apps that we could have used back home, but we don't really need it because of
The environment.
yeah, and then the system. But here, before you come, you have to learn how to use all these apps on your phone. You have to learn how to use the Google Map. You have to learn how to use the GPS. You have to learn how to use Google Translator, and then you have to learn how to use apps for transportation.
Yeah.
Or like back home where you can just go by the roadside and then stop a taxi.
Be asking everyone you meet on the road.
I mean, you can't
Please,
even ask.
excuse me, can I know the road to, can I get this junction here? Nobody has time for you in Europe.
Everyone is busy. Germans don't joke with their time. So, I mean, you have to move. You have to be on the go. So you need these tools to be on time. You can't, I mean, you can't be, you don't even have the language to even be asking around. So once you are at that disadvantage, the best thing you have to do is to be on top of your game when it comes to technology. You have to know how to use these apps, and then it will help you to, I mean, maneuver your way through the
do it yourself, the DIY comes in here.
Yeah.
You do things on your own.
Exactly.
You wouldn't get people assisting you.
Exactly.
Pointing to you which direction you should go.
No. You have to know when the tram is coming. You have to know when the bus is coming.
Yeah.
No, who are you going to ask? I mean, with what language are you going
You can't
to
even
use?
speak the
You
language.
can't even speak the language.
So how do you question the person?
Yes, you have to know all these things. You have to learn how to use your smartphone, like make use of your smartphone.
Yeah. So do it yourself is the concept here. You do things on your own in Germany. Learn how to do things on your own before you come. How to wake up by yourself. Nobody comes to say, Nana, wake up, or Kwaku, wake up. No, nobody has that time for you. Or go and pick this bus, or go and pick this train. No, that is waste of time in Germany. Do it yourself is the concept here. You want to add something as your last submission?
Yeah, I mean, as I've said earlier, before you come, I wish some of us, we knew before we got here, we had the opportunity for someone else to explain these things to us. So I'm pleading that you use this as an opportunity.
It's a platform for you to know.
To know, and then take these things seriously. Work on the language, work on your finances, get some savings, and then it will help you. And also just be smart. Be smart make use of your phone. It's not just for taking pictures, and make good use of before you actually apply to any school here in Germany. Make sure you have this done, and it will help you in the long run.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Before Linda speaks, we're going for a break. When we come, she also gives his last submission, and we end the show. This is the MC show, Meet Child show. Just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. We are still on your favorite show, the MC show, Meet Charles. They are still here, pretty damn ladies. So before you go,
Yeah.
your last submission about things that students back home should know, things that they have to work on before they dream or think of coming to Germany. We have talked about the do-it-yourself concept, but what do you add?
Yeah, so just as I mentioned earlier, about you researching into the educational system and also getting to know the culture of the German people. Those are very important things that you should be aware of. You must be aware of. And when it comes to the culture, time is very important to Germans. If I hadn't stressed on this earlier, this is very important that you should know that Germans work with time.
Because time is money,
Yeah.
right? Time is money.
Yeah. So they have a system whereby when, they have a program or when studies are supposed to start at 12, they make it 12:15 so that by 12:15, everybody should be there. And then they also close 15 minutes earlier. So they have this kind of systems just because they want to work with time and, make it flexible for everybody.
Yeah.
So they don't joke with their time at all. Yeah. So I just want to encourage people out there, wherever you are in the world and you want to come and study in Germany. These are very important things that me and my sister here have already talked about. And you should, research into these things. And, when you come here, we wish we had known all those things before coming. Yes. But unfortunately, we had to learn it the hard way, whilst we came here. But then you are so lucky to, get all this information beforehand. So I think...
On which show? On the Meet the Child show?
On Meet the Child show. So you should definitely take this seriously.
All right.
And, you would have a good stay in Germany. Yeah.
So, this is the Meet the Child show. You have to subscribe to this show. Like this show and share this video for others to know that in Germany, they don't joke with their language, their time, their culture, and they do-it-yourself concept. And when you are planning to come to Germany for your studies, you should know how to finance yourself. Funding is very important. This is where we draw curtains to today's show. I'll be with you again with different topics to inform you as to what to do before you come to Europe for living or studies. We say goodbye to our dear viewers.